I've been thinking about the Six Harmonies that Venerable's been talking and teaching us this week. And I have to be honest to admit that Venerable has probably given this teaching every EML, and this is probably maybe the second one that I've actually decided to think about them and to see how important they are in community and some of the factors that either encourage or become obstacles to actually being part of creating the Six Harmonies in a community. So for the benefit of other folks, I'm going to just list them very quickly and then talk about some of the insights that I've had. There's physical harmony, which is creating a peaceful environment by the way in which we interact on a physical level. Harmony in communication, so that all arguments, disagreements, and disputes are quickly resolved with a lot of kindness, wisdom, and compassion. The whole community gets involved. Mental harmony, which is to support and appreciate each other. Harmony in precepts, knowing that we have voluntarily made the commitment to learn them, to train in them, and to keep them as best as we can. Harmony of views, that we have a common view as far as accepting the training and following the teachings that are here as best to our ability. And then the harmony of welfare, where we share in all the abundance, whether it's offerings or what the benefactors do supply as far as our requisites, and to be able to keep the Dharma flourishing from our side is to share all the abundance. So, what came up for me when I've been thinking about this week is that when I first came here to the Abbey, I was very excited and enthusiastic, and there was an excitement on being here, and so I was putting my best foot forward, and I was putting on all of the best that I had. And sooner or later, when you live in community with other people that also are coming from their own place and their own side, is that I brought with me lifetimes, and certainly this lifetime, a bundle load of conditionings. Conditionings that since the time I was born, most certainly, the things that I was taught to do, how to think, how to eat, how to walk, how to speak, which from my family were either family traditions or ways of behavior that I modeled from my family. And then as I moved through my life into the social realm of friends and relationships, my educational conditioning, professional conditioning, is that unbeknownst to me that over time, everything that I had been taught to understand, either from a cultural aspect or from more personal, my relationships, is that I believed to be true for everybody. And that when I moved here, soon afterwards, because I was living here with strangers who came with their own conditioning, is that I started to run up against other people's beliefs on how things were done and how you ate and how you walked and how you practiced and your opinions about things. And so for the first few years, a lot of it was just me bumping up and hitting and resisting and fighting how everybody else was conditioned. And a lot of it was unconscious from my side. I wasn't even aware that this was something that I could change. It was just, I really believe that it was something that I was stuck with. And so, to be able to not only understand the Six Harmonies and how important it is for the peace and the flourishing of a community as well as the Dharma, is that I had to get to a place where I had to be honest and to recognize the deep conditionings that I've had that no longer prove to be helpful. Now, it's not to say that along my life's path that I've had some conditionings where I've generated and learned qualities and characteristics from others that have been extremely helpful, but there have been a lot of stereotypes, expectations, and misconceptions about how I was to behave and treat others that I assumed to be true that simply don't work anymore. And they've caused a lot of mental suffering for myself, and they certainly have not helped to create any of the Six Harmonies on any level. So the past 2 years with going to the Bhikshuni ordination and also starting to take my precepts and my ordination more seriously, and with the help of Venerable and the community, I've been able to recognize these subtle and not so subtle unconscious conditionings that are helpful, that I want to cultivate and nourish, my good qualities and ideas and creativity, and what to abandon as far as the ones that really become obstacles for me to be able to participate in creating the harmony in this community. And so through a lot of practice and through the 3 C's, which is to have courage, that this is something that I really need to do because I want to live in a harmonious community and I want to be an active participant in that. Confidence in the rest of the community and my teacher that I am doing what needs to be done and to accept feedback and support for the changes I need to make. And lastly, to have a lot of compassion for the fact that I have to recognize some pretty uncomfortable and not very wholesome and beneficial qualities about myself, which I've been doing. And the compassion helps me to open to that, realize that they are just behaviors that can be changed, and that I have a very powerful tool and I have a very wonderful opportunity to be able to change the not so beneficial conditionings so that I can be a very active participant in creating the 6 Harmonies, not only in this community, but then to share it with all of you who come here. And then when I go out in the world to share the Dharma in whatever capacity, I would love to embody those harmonies so that when I walk into a room and I go to a place, I bring that integrated into my mind in some way so that people can sense that it's an important part of monastic life, it's an important part of community staying healthy so that they can flourish for a really, really long time.